What's up, YouTube? Today, it's my second video. We're going to do a fantasy football prediction video. But first things first, for every video, we're going to crack a beer. Because that's what you need to do when you're talking football. Just a simple Budweiser. Nothing crazy. You know. Start simple. We'll work our way up to the crazy beer. So today I'm talking a little fantasy football. I'm going to go a little bit into the last video. I'm going to talk about Zeke and go into his fantasy things and whether you should draft Zeke or not. So let's dive into it. First, so Zeke for fantasy this year. Obviously Zeke, obviously one of the best running backs in the league. He was number 5 in fantasy last year. So obviously, if the current situation wasn't going on that's going on right now, it would be a no-brainer to take Zeke early, top 5 pick possibly. But with his holdout, we don't know, is he coming back? Is he coming back week 1? Will he sit out week 6? I mean, he could possibly sit out the entire season. Unless Zeke signs before your draft, before your fantasy draft, I don't think I would take him early, possibly take him late, one of your later picks. If you can get him in the 4th, 5th round, 6th round or something like that, sit him on your bench. You're taking the chance. The only reason I don't like that is because I saw it happen to people take Le'Veon. I saw a dude take Le'Veon first overall last year, and Le'Veon didn't play the entire season. I picked him up because he released him, and he still didn't play, so there's pretty much no value there. But when you look at his stats, obviously top 5 running back in the league. Last year he averaged 16 points a game, and week 10 through 15 is kind of when he broke out. So he was kind of a late bloomer, consistent throughout the year, but 10 through 15 he really had some breakout 20+ point games. He obviously led the league in rushing. So it just kind of depends, man, whether Zeke goes first. If he signs before the first game, or if he holds out, then it just kind of depends on what you want to do. So Kareem Hunt, he was suspended. He's suspended for the first 8 games this year. When he does come back, if he does come back, he's going to be sharing carries with Nick Chubb. So I don't think, for obvious reasons, he's guaranteed to be suspended for 8 weeks. It's not like Zeke where he could potentially come back. He's guaranteed suspended for 8 weeks, so he's definitely not a first-round pick. He was 10th overall in fantasy last year. He had 824 yards rushing. He had over 1,000 yards total if you look at his catches and stuff like that. 7 touchdowns. So the problem with that is there's talk going around that Kareem Hunt might not even be with the Browns. There's talk that they might cut him, possibly. So I don't think many people are going to take a risk on him. I'm definitely not even looking at drafting him. If he happens to be there in free agency in week 8, maybe I'll pick him up. But sharing carries with Nick Chubb. Odell's got to get touches. David Njoku, Juice Landry, all those guys. I don't see, even when he does come back, he's not going to be the feature back. So I don't think he's worth taking a risk on. Definitely not for a draft pick. But he was kind of consistent. He did play. He had good games every other week, so he was consistent throughout the year. Okay, Odell Beckham Jr. So, OBJ, I personally am big on OBJ this year. I had him last year. He produced for me last year. He was kind of inconsistent. He would have some, really down games where he'd almost do nothing. But then he had a couple games where he really blew up, and he had some big games for me last year. So he was the 15th last year in fantasy points among receivers. He had 6 touchdowns. Obviously, this year he's got a better quarterback. He's not dealing with the bum Eli Manning. So, that's a plus for Odell. But he's also got to share touches, kind of like, I was talking about Kareem Hunt. He's got to share touches with Juice Landry, David Njoku, Nick Chubb, Rashard Higgins. All these guys in Cleveland, they have this really wide open offense. So I think he's going to be a consistent player. I think he's going to be better than last year, but I don't know if he's going to lead the league or be a stud or anything like that. I personally like Odell. I would take him early. I took him early last year, and it worked out for me. I think he's going to have a better year this year than last year. Cool. Quarterbacks. So When should we take a quarterback? So the only quarterbacks that I'm taking early would be Rodgers, Mahomes, or Breeze. Some people have Breeze really late. I had Breeze last year. I mean, he had a game against Atlanta. It was like week 2, I think. Oh, my God. He had like 40-plus points. Breeze pretty much, for the most part, won my league for me last year. He did have some down games, but for the most part, he played pretty well. And I think it's going to be more of the same this year. I think New Orleans has a chance to, get to the Super Bowl, and it's going to be on the back of him and Alvin Kamara. So definitely get Breeze. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes. I'm sure he's going to be a beast again this year. And Aaron Rodgers should have a better year. He's got a new head coach. So I think Rodgers is going to have a better year as well. I'm not a Rodgers fan, but I think he's definitely going to have a better year. Just the old classic, man. Okay, Kyler Murray. No, don't take Kyler Murray. I don't know if you've seen him in the first 2 preseason games, but he looks like absolute trash. He had like 15 plays the other night for a total of 12 yards. He had like 3 offensive penalties. He looked terrible, man. I mean, he couldn't get his snap count right. He had a chance where he drew a dude offside. Kind of like Aaron Rodgers draws people offside, snaps it, gets the free play. He had that happen, and he didn't snap the ball. Just kind of a rookie thing. And I never really liked Kyler Murray coming in. I mean, I hope he does well, but I don't think he was definitely not a first overall round pick. I hope I'm wrong, but as of right now, I'm not taking Kyler Murray at all. No chance. Not drafting him, not signing him, nothing. Hopefully, maybe he'll blow up. Maybe somebody will get lucky, but not happening for me. Okay, so sleepers next. So I have 3 sleepers that I really like this year. I'm going to try to get them. This is not necessarily what experts think. One of these guys is like the experts are saying is going to be a sleeper. First is Darius Geis out of LSU. He was the guy after Leonard Fournette. He was a beast at LSU. He's been injured, but I think when this dude is healthy and he's going to be the feature back with Chris Thompson in that Redskins lineup, I think Geis is the better back, and I think he's going to blow up this year. I think he's going to have a really good year. Obviously, they have the new quarterback. They're either going to have Case Keenum or Dwayne Haskins. Obviously, I love Dwayne Haskins, but I think it's going to be Case Keenum, and then you're going to have Darius Geis. I think he should be the featured back in Washington. I think he's going to have a good year. DJ Moore. So I love DJ Moore out of Maryland. Kind of had an average year last year as a rookie, but I think this year he has the potential to blow up. Got Cam as quarterback. Yes, he's going to have to share touches with Christian McCaffrey, who's obviously a top fantasy player. But I think DJ Moore, he had 2 touchdowns last year, 788 yards. But he had a big week 11. He had 7 catches for 151 yards and a touchdown. Dude's super talented. He might be the next breakout receiver. He's one of the people I'm looking forward to watching most this year is DJ Moore. I hope he blows up. And, yeah, so he should have a good year. And then next, I got to go with the Dallas guy. I got to go Michael Gallup. He should be the number 2 guy now that Allen Hurns is going now. So Gallup should be the number 2 guy with Amari Cooper. I think Amari Cooper is going to get a lot of double teams. So I think that leaves Gallup a perfect opportunity to get tons of touches. And if Zeke's out and Zeke's not playing for the first 6 weeks of the season or the entire season, I think Dallas is going to have to throw the ball more. So Gallup's going to get more targets. So it should be fun. I'm excited for Michael Gallup. And obviously I'm a Dallas guy, so I hope he does really well. I'm going to try to pick him up. So who do I want? Number 1, I got to keep DeAndre Hopkins in my keeper league. He was a beast last year. I think he was like the number 1. I think he was the number 1 receiver in the league in fantasy. He's unbelievable. So I kept Hopkins. I also get Chris McCaffrey. He's a beast. Drew Brees. I need to get Drew Brees again. If I can get Drew Brees, people were saying late round. If I can get Drew Brees early, 3rd round or something, I'm getting Drew Brees because he's one of my favorite players ever, and he's just a beast out there. And the age doesn't really affect him. Maybe it will this year. Eric Ebron, I had him last year for the Colts. He was a beast. He lit it up. He had a lot of big games, so I think he's going to do more of the same this year. Nick Chubb in Cleveland is going to be the featured back for at least the first 8 weeks. He had a good year last year. I think he's going to have an even better year this year being the featured back. He's not going to have to share carries with really anybody on that team. Sony Michel, New England, he had a great year. I had him as well. He was great, and I think he's going to have another big year. I really like Sony Michel. Funny, Nick Chubb and Sony Michel, Georgia, two guys. They put two top backs in the league in the same year. It's unbelievable. And they're two of the best, in my opinion, two of the best backs in the league, and they will be for the future. Adam Thielen, another guy, I didn't have him last year, but he always produces. I think Minnesota's going to be better this year. I think their offensive line is going to be better, so Thielen's going to get more touches. Cousins is going to have more time to throw the ball. Last year, Cousins, his line was terrible, and he didn't get a big chance. So I think Minnesota's going to have a better year this year. And T.Y. Hilton, my guy T.Y. Hilton, I love T.Y. Hilton. He's going to have a great year again. As long as he can stay healthy. He was injured for a little bit last year. So, yeah, that's what I'm trying to get. I kind of do a week-to-week thing. So I have my core, 4 or 5 guys that I start every week, unless they're on bye weeks. But I like to go week-to-week, kind of, see who's playing who's supposed to have a blowout week, match up, things like that. And I won my league last year, and I got second in my other league. So that seems to work out for me. Let me know what you guys think about the video. Please like, comment, tell me who you're excited to get in fantasy. Let me know what you think. Do you disagree with me? Do you like what I have to say? But yeah, I hope you guys are excited for fantasy. Tomorrow I'll be doing a review on the fight, not a review, but a reaction to the fights tonight, the Stipe fight and Cormier fight and the Nate Diaz fight. So I'll be doing that tomorrow, and then I'm going to start doing division predictions Monday. So I'll start having those out. I'm going to start with the AFC East and then go on down the line for all 8 divisions. So that should be fun. I'm excited for that. I appreciate you guys for watching. Have a good one. And drink responsibly. Bye.